pilot, whoever. You have to trust them with your lives, right? You trust them so that they can take you to point B, point A to point B. You trust that wherever you're going, that you're getting there at a certain time. You're getting there at the right time. You're getting to your location safely. So you put your trust in people to take you there, right? In a way, you have to trust your decision, right? You make a decision to take the bus to work, take the bus to school, take the train. You make a decision to take a plane to a location. You know, you put your trust in that, and because you put your trust in that, that's what you look forward to. You know, you're making a decision, and because you're making a decision, you are trusting in that decision. So today, this morning, our conversation, our discussion is going to be related to trust your choice. Trust your choice, right? Trusting your choice is so important because once you make a decision, once you've gone forward in that decision, once you step into that position, you can't look back and say, man, you know, I wish I did this, this, and this. You can't look back and say, man, if only I did this, this, and this. You can only look forward and say, you know what? I made the right choice. Right? Marvin, appreciate that, bro. Appreciate that, big bro. That's all you could do. You can only say that I'm going to make the choice. And not only am I going to make the choice, I'm going to trust in that choice. I'm going to trust the choice to tell myself that this was the right choice for me to make. See, sometimes we do something called second guess, where we second guess the choices that we make. I call that the double Dutch effect. We'll get into that. So today is all about trust your choice. Let's pray. Father God in heaven, we just want to thank you again for your love and your mercy. We thank you for life. We thank you for love. We thank you for helping us to live. Lord God, we thank you for sleep. Thank you for giving us rest, waking us up to see a new day. Continue to establish our steps. Continue to establish us as we continue to walk, as we continue to grow, as we continue to learn. We love you. We thank you in Christ's name. Amen. So, trust. When you're trusting in your choices in life, you trust your choice because you have an idea of what you want to accomplish. Not only do you have an idea of what you want to accomplish, but you also want to make sure you know that what you're accomplishing and what decision you're making is what's going to help you and propel you forward. What's up, Tiffany? We also look at the choices that we make and we trust our decisions. See, not all of us have the open manual or the answer key to life. So a lot of choices that you make in life is based on a couple of things. It's based on preference, it's based on how you feel, it's based on what you've experienced, and it's also based on blind faith. And those are the different things that we take on, and those are some of the things that we accumulate over time to help us make our decisions in life. It gives us an idea of how we should go forward with our choices. See, sometimes we can create a choice, we can have a choice in someone, and because we've made a choice in someone, we will continue to think about it and even move forward on it and not look back because you made a choice. And not only did you make a choice, you're trusting in the choice that you made. I just mentioned the double Dutch effect. So some of us, we get into this double Dutch effect where we want to make a decision, but we're not 100% sure of that decision. And because we don't know what to make of that decision, we stay in a double Dutch routine where we don't know whether to jump forward or to lean back. And we have this motion of which when you're waiting for the ropes to come around and you're sitting there and you want to jump in, but you're not 100% sure how you're going to jump in. So you kind of just sit there. Let me tell you the truth. I used to find it fascinating to watch young girls jump through the. Well, that sounded creepy. To watch girls my age at the time get ready to jump through a jump rope. I remember I used to sit there and because we used to play recess, right? Like, you know, I'm from the era where we would have school, and then we'll have something called recess, and we'll go outside for recess. So I remember going outside for recess, and I remember we'd be playing tag, we'd be playing basketball. We used to play wall ball. If you're from North Jersey, I'm from North Jersey, and one of the games that we used to play was wall ball. And wall ball, what you do, you come up to the wall, you have your ball, you throw the ball against the wall, shoots up. Whoever catches it is their turn. If someone tries to catch it and they miss it, somebody got to take that ball and they got to pelt them in the back before they can touch the wall. It was a beautiful game. Anyway, but we used to play those games. But the one game I used to I would literally sit there on the ground and watch them like this. Oh my gosh, this is so fascinating. Look how fast the ropes are going. Look at they literally jump between the rope. Like, how do you time that? How do you time when one rope is coming and one rope is going? When do you time that opening for you to jump in and for you to just go ahead? And the girls in my school, they were like, I don't understand it. Like they were not athletic in gym, but when it came to double dutch, all of a sudden they were super athletes. Like they would be in there, they're sitting there, they're doing all this type of stuff with their legs. It's like you know how the cartoons would have the the Road Runner, and all you see is like the spinning the spinningness on the bottom of his feet. You see his body still, but you see his legs moving quick, and it just looks like a blur. That's how it looked with the girls. Like the girls were literally. Anyway, I digress. But I used to watch that because I was so fascinated to see how they would make the decision to jump in the ropes. And when they made the decision to jump in the ropes and how fast they were moving, how they were going, it was like, man, they had to make that decision and then go forward in that decision. They couldn't just make the decision and just kind of say, well, I'm not gonna, okay, I'm not gonna go, I'm not gonna go, you know what, I'm not gonna go. They didn't make those decisions. They literally went in, jumped in, and they were all for it. Believe it or not, we do that all the time. We do that all the time in life. We sit there and we are making plans. We are designing schemes. And then when it comes time for us to jump into the fray, to jump on those ropes, to jump through those ropes, to get in and start jumping, we get nervous. We get scared. Not only did they make jump roping look easy, made it look like that made it look normal. It's crazy. But that's what we do too. We get nervous, we get scared. We don't know whether or not to jump in. And because of that, a lot of choices that we make, a lot of decisions that we make has gone right by us because we have been so stuck on the process of jumping into the ropes. Happy, how you doing? Good to see you this morning. Adolf, good to see you, bro. We're literally waiting to jump in because we're not 100% sure on the choice that we're about to make. We're not 100% sure of the choice that we need to make. So we get nervous about jumping in because we don't know how we're going to jump in. We don't know when we're going to jump in. We don't even know if when we jump in that this was the right choice. But guess what? We got to make that choice. See, Matthew 7, verse 13 and 14 clearly gives us an idea of the decisions that we all make as humans, as individuals, traveling down the same path. It says, enter by the narrow gates, for the gates is wide and the way is easy that leads to destruction. And for those who enter by it are many. For the gate is narrow and the way is hard that leads to life, and those who find it are few. Let's dissect that verse a little bit. It takes me a while to jump in, but when I do, see what I mean? It takes you a while. See, the whole time, meaning you're literally making a decision of when to jump in. You're making a choice when to jump in. You don't know when that jump in is gonna affect you. You don't know when that's going to hit. You don't know when you're going to be ready to do that. So you wait and you wait and you wait, and then when the opening is right, boom, you're in there. It says, enter by the narrow gates. Now, we all know that in our lives we have a decision to make. We all have a hypothetical decision to make. We could travel down the narrow way or go through the narrow gate, or we could go through the broad gate. Now, there are two types of gates. Like I said, the narrow and the broad. The broad gate is wide. It's open. It's an open lane, right? That's easy to go down. You have no concerns, you have no troubles, you have no pushback, you have nothing that's stopping you from traveling down that road. You have nothing stopping you from getting to your location, to getting you to your destination because the road is so wide. But guess what? There is a twist to that easy passage. And the twist is you're traveling down a road that's going to lead you directly to destruction. And the very fact that it is so easy for you to travel down this road, many are going to be led down the same way. Oh, what does the shirt say? The more the merrier. I love s'mores. I love s'mores. S'mores are awesome. And I'm taking a hiatus on. I'm striking on Oreos, by the way. That has nothing to do with nothing that we're talking about. Nothing to do with what we're talking about. But I just want to let you guys know I'm striking on Oreos. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. So as we see, the gate is wide, and for those who travel down that gate, it's leading you directly to destruction. Rajesh, how you doing this morning, man? And because it's leading you directly into destruction, there's so many of us that go down that same path. There's so many of us that go down that road because that's the choice we decide to make. See, that choice is easy. See, a lot of times we are faced with two choices, the easy choice and the difficult choice, the road less followed and then the road that is followed. And sometimes when we travel down the road that's followed, we are usually going to fall into the same traps, the same situations, the same pitfalls, the same detours, the same everything as we're driving down the same road. Queen, what's going on this morning? When we're traveling down this road, that's what happens to us. We get all over the place because we're choosing the road that most people go down. See, but the second part to this verse is that it says that the gate is narrow and it's hard, but it leads to life. See, the narrow gate is what's looking like this. You look at that and you say, man, you don't want to make that choice. But at the end of that tunnel, at the end of that line, there is light. There is life at the end of that line. It's similar to either traveling down a highway or going through a tunnel. A tunnel is narrow in its dimensions, is narrow by nature. Once you get inside of a tunnel, if there's no lights in the tunnel, then you're traveling down a dark path. You don't know what's on that path. You don't know what you can run into, what twists and turns might befall you in that path, but you're given light to get through it. Right? That's why you have headlights. You're given light to go through that dark tunnel. And as you're traveling down this dark tunnel, before you recognize it, you'll start to see a glimmer of light at the end of the tunnel. And as you see the glimmer of light at the end of the tunnel, and as you see that light starts to brighten up, as you see the light starts to glow a little brighter, then you start to see that you can get to the end of the tunnel. See, but when you're on the narrow road, that's like a large highway. And when multiple people tend to travel down that road because they think it's much faster, you get something that's called traffic. And you're going to be sitting in traffic for such a long time. You're not going to be able to get through traffic. You're not going to be able to get to your destination or even get further than where you started from because you're traveling down a road that everybody thinks is easy and that everybody is traveling down. And that's why you're stuck in traffic. While going through the tunnel might be dark, might be narrow, you might not know what's there, but guess what? It's going to get you to where you need to get to faster. You're going to get to the end of the tunnel a lot quicker. You're going to see that light and have that reassurance that what you did was the right choice, as opposed to sitting on top on an open highway and you're sitting in traffic and all you can see is cars lined up for the miles ahead. And you know good and well you're not going to be able to get through that traffic no time soon. See, I want you guys to understand the analogy because the analogy is simply talking about your life. This is all about your life, your choice, your decisions. You trust in your decisions. You should always try to look for the way that is narrow and hard, less traveled. You take the road that's less traveled, you're going to get through the road, but you have to trust in yourself, trust in the road that you're driving, and trust whatever you're driving. When it comes to your personal life, when it comes to your life and your situations, you have to be willing to drive down this road. Morning, Angel, how you doing? You have to be willing to drive down this road. You have to be willing to drive this path and not be scared, not be nervous. Trust your decision. Trust your choice. That's what we're talking about. That's what we've been talking about this whole entire week. Trust. Yesterday, I made a choice. Well, last week I made a choice. I looked at something. I wasn't even sure what it looked like, but I made a leap of faith. By making a leap of faith, it started a process. And that process led to me, purchasing a new car. So the process is usually the longest portion. And for me, I'm very, very methodical in my thoughts, my thought process. I have to sit and I have to outline and look at different scenarios. And a lot of times for me, by doing that, I miss out on a lot of opportunities because I'm sitting there doing the double touch routine, right? That's what I'm doing. I don't know whether to jump in, whether not. Just like with my previous job. Previous job, worked there for 10 years, doing a good job, getting paid, whole thing. For the longest time, I've been telling myself I needed to leave that job and look for something that's going to suit me better. Not necessarily financially suit me better, but morally suit me better. I needed something that I will be able to give back. I'll be able to teach. I couldn't do that at my old job. And they weren't giving me the positions that I was looking for, enabling me to do that. So I had to leave. I had to go. But I kept saying to myself, I'm not going to go until I know I have something I can step into. And that thought process to me doesn't sound wrong. You don't burn your bridges before you step into something new. And I never intended to burn my bridges, and nor did I. But I remember it like it was yesterday. I was called into the office. It was around April 27th. My manager was walking with me. The fact we didn't go to her office, the fact we didn't go to any other offices, and we were heading towards HR, I already knew what the situation was. I already knew what was going down. So I know good and well, they wasn't walking me there to tell me, hey, we're going to promote you. I know that wasn't the case because they were letting go of people all day. I get there and I'm sitting there nervous and everything like that, but I'm saying, you know what? Whatever the outcome is, I'm going to roll with it. I sat down, met with this HR representative, went through all the paperwork, went through everything, and they said, yeah, May 5th, that's going to be considered your last day. That was 2 weeks from now. I said, all right, I'm going to work for those 2 weeks. He said, no, if you want, you can go home. You can stay home those 2 weeks. We'll pay you for those 2 weeks. You don't got to come to work. I said, no, because I have a job to do. If I leave and then you guys going to scramble to find somebody to fill all the many hats that I wear, how about I just sit, continue to do the jobs. You guys figure out who's going to be wearing what hat. And then when I leave, then you guys go from there. But you see, God was telling me this entire time that it's been time for you to leave. It's been time for you to go. And you should have went when you had those opportunities to go. But instead, you were nervous and you didn't want to take the narrow gate because you weren't ready, or nor did you understand what you was going to get when you went through those narrow gates. So instead of you not going through those narrow gates, you decided to stay put in traffic. Because I was stagnant. My career was stagnant. I was jogging in place. I was going nowhere in my position. So I kept saying to myself, well, maybe I messed up. Maybe I did make a mistake. Maybe I didn't know what I was doing. Maybe this, maybe that. As a result, I ended up getting pushed out. And it was almost as if I was holding up the line for a double dutch. And I kept saying, I don't know where to jump in. 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 And somebody was just like, yeah, let me help you. And they just pushed me in. And when I got pushed in, I had no choice but to jump. I had no choice but to, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing it. I had no choice. And sometimes we do get to that point where We have to make a decision. And because we can't make that decision, we don't know how to make that decision, we get pushed into that decision. Sometimes God has to remove the carpet from under us and we have to kind of struggle to find our footing, but we have to find our footing. Sometimes that is what is needed in order for us to understand where we are in life, what we're supposed to do in life. Those are some hard choices. Those are some hard decisions. But guess what? Trust your choice. Trust whatever choice you're about to make. Whatever decision you're about to make in life, trust that you're making the right decision. Trust that you're making the right choice. Even though sometimes you may think that the choice that you're about to make is not the choice that you want to make, still trust it. Trust that God has your best interest at heart. Sometimes we got to remember that God's choice for us is perfect. Sometimes we don't realize that. God's choice is perfect. And because his choice is perfect, we have to remember and we have to rely on those choices because we are his children. So he is going to make sure that we make the best choice. And even if we don't make the best choice, keep this in mind, that he will always try to see us through and help us through those hard beaten paths. Proverbs 6 verse 9 says, the heart of man plans his way, but the Lord established his steps. So the Lord established your steps because he knows that the choice that you're making is coming from a genuine place. You know, this whole time I was looking for a job, I didn't know what to do. I wanted to do counseling. You know, I wanted to be a counselor. I wanted to help people who needed some type of advice, you know, as I do here. And then I love Legos. Like literally, if I show you the other side of my wall here, you'll see like I got a lot of Legos. Let's just put it like that. And I have boxes of Legos underneath here that I have yet to even touch. I need to dedicate a day to do that stuff. But I found a job where I can teach and build the Legos at the same time. And for me, that was all I needed. That encouraged me to show me that, yeah, there is something out there for everyone. There is something out there for me. I can go to work and feel like I am making a difference in the lives of these children. I'll share something with you guys. I started a camp. Every week I'm starting a new camp every week. My job sends me to different locations. I kick it off. We end it by the end of the week. I remember first day I met all the kids and everything like that, and they saw me, I met them. You know, that first day I started teaching them some engineer terms, simple stuff. You know, taught them about, you know, how bricklaying, how builders, how they lay bricks. They do like an overlap routine. You know, taught them about that. I taught them about axles and gears and, you know, and pulleys and all that type of stuff. These kids were in their minds. If you see their faces, to listen to these things and see how these things work, they're like, that's how a car works? Whoa. You know, that's how they look. It's beautiful. So, what's up, Matt? So, the next day, one of the mothers came up to me and she said, hey, we're here again. I was like, oh, awesome, good. I didn't expect you not to be here. You paid for the program, so yeah. He's like, but you know, I thought that they were going to be just playing with Legos, but my kids came home and they kept telling me all the things that they were learning, and they are just so excited about what they're going to be building today and what they're going to be doing today. And I was like, wow, that's what's up. So Curvy me. I was like, wow, that's important. That's impactful. You know, what I'm doing is making a difference in the lives of these children. The choices that I'm making to teach them is what's helping them and propelling them forward. Oh man, I don't know who this. Well, I know who this is, but man, I can never say your name. It's in Japanese, but thank you, appreciate you. Thanks for those likes. I know that the choices that I am making for these kids is what's making a difference in their lives. That gives them the excitement to come every single day to this Lego camp. And at the end of the Lego camp, which is tomorrow, unfortunately, sad, I know, teary-eyed, I'm putting together something that I'm going to do for every single class that I have. Mr. Goldie, what's up? That I'm doing for every single class that I have, and that's to just pretty much show them their projects, what they worked on, to show them, to show their parents that the choice that they made, that they can trust in the choices that they make for their children, because the choices that they make for their children, though they might not always be so good, at least this choice that they made for their children to put them in a Lego camp, to have them be with Lego Sams, is going to be a changing experience for them, life changing maybe for them. Because at the end of the day, they will be able to, oh, nah, I'm not going to delete this. But, Live Me might, but, YouTube won't. So I'm going to make sure that the choices that I make to teach them is going to make them remember the things that we're going through. See, they could drive in a car and they could say, hey, you know what? Lego Sam's told us that, inside of an engine, there's a compression tool, there's compression and everything, and that there's gears that work for the wheels. And because there's axles connected to the wheels, and because the engine is moving the axle that is moving the wheels as well, like all those type of things. Like today, we're going to be talking about airplanes, and I'm going to teach them how to build an airplane with motors. And it's probably not going to lift off and fly, but they're going to be able to build it, and they can be creative with how they build it. They can build it as big as they want, as large as they want. They can do all that. And I think that that is awesome. They're going to have a great time in doing that. And that's what it's all about. The choices that you make, the decisions that you decide on, you have to trust those choices. You have to trust those decisions. When it comes to your love life, when it comes to schooling, when it comes to anything in life, marriage, trust your choice. Even though sometimes you might regret your choice, there's no regretting when it comes to that. Everything is done for a reason. Every choice that you make in life is for a reason. And that reason is for you to understand and appreciate the direction that God is sending you, the direction that God is showing you. Not only do you have a idea, an impression on what you are accomplishing, but you also have an idea to see things through because you believe in the choice that you made. 2016, most of us, if not all of us, were involved in a very serious choice. We had a choice between a celebrity with no political experience, no judicial experience, no experience whatsoever, versus a woman who's surrounded by corruption and questions, but she had the political experience. She studied politics in school. She's done more stuff in the community and stuff like that, but she's also done more stuff to hurt the community as well. You're dealing with two evils, really, with no third option, which is weird. I mean, we did have a third option, but I mean, he didn't even believe in his vote. But that was it. In 2016, we all had a choice. See, everybody was coming off of the high of 8 years of being under President Barack Obama. And President Barack Obama, because of the fact he was the first Black president that we've ever had, he was inspirational to so many people. And he was also divisive to so many people as well. And I always say this, and I don't know if I'm going to catch flack for this, but I always said that President Barack Obama, in my mind, was the greatest president because just based off his skin color alone, to me, he'll be the greatest president ever. But he was also very divisive. He reawoken a condition in America that unfortunately is not going away. And that condition is racism. People would be so racist towards him that they would pick the embodiment of that racism in Trump. I mean, that's just my opinion, but we're not going to go into politics here because this is not the forum for politics. But I just want to illustrate that to go back to the ground point. The ground point is trust your choice. Isaiah 30 verse 21 says, And your ears shall hear a word behind you saying, this is the way, walk in it. Most of us who drive, there was a time where we didn't have GPSs easily accessible on our phones. We had to physically buy a GPS, right? So we would physically buy a GPS and, that whole thing. When we didn't have that physical GPS, we had something called MapQuest, for those who's been driving for as long as I have. We had MapQuest. Danny, what's going on, man? And MapQuest would literally list out, itemize, line for line, every direction that we're going to be taking, every turn we take, every move we make to get to our destination. With every choice that we make, it's going to lead us down a different road. For every decision that we make, it's going to take us down a different path. And at the end of this list, you will get to your destination. So now, in this age, we have GPSs, or Waze. That's what most people use now, Waze. And we're literally taking Waze, and we are driving down our destination. We are driving towards our destination. And because we're driving towards our destination, we want to get to our destination at a decent time. So we take our GPS and we follow a voice on the GPS that tells us to go this way, to go that way. When there is a obstruction in front of us, Billy, what's going on? When there is an obstruction in front of us where we cannot go this way, it's going to tell us rerouting. We're taking you down a different way. And you have to follow each of those instructions. If you miss a turn, it's going to reconnect. It's going to reroute, and it's going to route you down a different path. If you miss that turn, it's going to reroute you again. And as you're looking at it, your destination time continues to increase because you keep going different directions. You keep going different turns. Steph, what's going on? Because you keep going down different turns and you keep going down different directions and you're not listening to the GPS, you're going to go down these different paths. And because you're going down these paths, you're extending when you're going to reach your destination because you're too busy going down different directions or not even paying attention to the GPS. At the end of this verse, it says, when you turn to the right or when you turn to the left. You read the rest of that. Uh, 22, Isaiah 22. Yeah, that actually doesn't help. Yeah, that doesn't even help really. Let me see. And your ear shall hear the word behind you saying, this is the way, walk in it. When you turn to the right or when you turn to the left, then you will defile your carved idols overlaid with silver and your golden plated image, and you will scatter them as unclean things, and you will say to them, be gone. Yeah, that kind of leads into a different path I didn't want to really take. But anyway, Jack, what's going on, man? Good to see you, bro. When we look at the choices and the decisions that we make, the different routes that we take, and because the GPS is telling us where to go, showing us where to go, allowing us the opportunity to go where we're going to go, that's what we have to do. We have to listen to those choices. We got to listen to that direction. We have to listen to that voice inside that little box, inside that little phone to tell us where to go. Because guess what? It's connected to something even greater than what we're carrying on our person. Angela, how you doing? You realize that? I want you to understand the analogy, okay? This verse right here in Isaiah is telling us that we should listen to the word in our ear that tells us this is the way, walk it. We are listening to the voice that's coming from a higher place, that's coming from a greater source. When we're listening to the GPS, even though our phones are small, we're listening to our phones. We're getting this information from a satellite that sits high in the sky. And the satellite is much bigger, much greater than the phone that we're looking at. And the satellite scans the entire Earth. And it's scanning every single route. It's pinpointing every route. It has an algorithm in it that tells us exactly what turns to make to get to the destination quickest. If you have to take a toll road, if you want to avoid taking a toll road, it will tell you to go down a different path. It will tell you to go down a different direction. It's gonna continue to reroute you until you get to your destination. But we have to remember that it's all coming from a greater source, a bigger source, a higher source, and that's where the direction is coming from. Because something is up there that's looking down on Earth, that's looking at all the roads and looking at all the paths, looking at all the pitfalls, looking on all the detours, looking on all the one ways, and getting you to your destination as quickly as possible. That is what God does in our lives. That's what God's purpose is in our lives. That when we make the choice and the decision, that we are getting the direction directly from God in order to make the right choice and decision. In order for us to get to the destination that we're trying to get to, we have to understand what direction, what location we have to go, and what it's going to take for us to get to that destination. This morning, I want us to understand exactly what God has been trying to show us, teach us, prove to us these last couple of days. Trust is a 5-letter word that not everybody truly understands. Trust is something that not everybody is willing to do. People don't know how to trust other people because they've been hurt too many times. It's hard for them to open up. It's hard for them to allow someone in. How you doing, RR, right, white girl? Good to see you. Because of the fact that we don't understand what trust is, or we don't know how to trust, we often find ourselves in a double Dutch conundrum because we don't know when to trust ourselves to jump into that double Dutch rope. So we stay right where we at. And we keep waiting to get inside of that rope. We keep waiting to get inside that double Dutch so that we can jump and that we can do our thing. And we keep waiting and we keep waiting. And as we keep waiting, the ropes are getting tired because they can't keep turning their ropes waiting for you. And then the recess period is starting to run out. And as the recess period is running out, you start to say to yourself, okay, I'm getting ready. All right, I got this. I got this. And then you hear, "Beep," and then you're like, oh, time to go. And they drop the ropes. And what are you doing this whole time? No, I was just there. I was almost there. I was ready. I was ready to jump in. I was so ready to jump in. I was almost there. Sherry, what's going on? I was there. I was right there. I was there. I was there. I was there. Double Dutch is stopped. Recess is over. That's it. Oh, thank you for those tags. I appreciate you. Recess is over. Empress Chris, what's going on? Don't be that type of person that misses recess, that misses your opportunity, your chance to jump into that double Dutch. Don't be that type of person. Listen to the voice that's inside you telling you to go this way. Look at your options. Look at the narrow way and travel down that narrow way, even though not a lot of people is going to travel down that way, even though not a lot of people is going to be on that road with you. It's better to be on that road because at least you will get to the end of the tunnel. You could turn on your lights. God has given you light. So you'll be able to see your path in the dark. While on the Broadway, it's spacious, yeah, but you also have a whole bunch of people traveling down that road. And because you have a whole bunch of people traveling down that road, you don't know what's up ahead that's causing all this traffic. And up ahead, that traffic could be destruction to anybody who goes down that way. But if you take that narrow path, there is no destruction. You only see light at the end of that tunnel. I hope this morning we are one step closer to understanding and appreciating and trusting the decisions that we have made. We must trust the choices that we make in life. Trust that the decisions that we're going to make in life are going to be the best possible choice. Don't take it from me. I have made many decisions in my life that were absolutely wrong. Many times I've opted to travel down that Broadway and I sat in traffic because I've wasted years at a school I shouldn't have been at, wasted years at a job I should have left, I can't say wasted years. That's my baby, my car, my old car. But I deliberately sat in traffic with my car when I should have gotten a new car a long time ago. But those are the choices that I made. That's the bed that I decided to lie in. Question for you this morning is, what bed are you going to lie in? What choice are you going to make? Are you ready for the choices that you are presented with? And are you going to make those choices and go forward with those choices? That's the question I leave for you this morning. And I hope that you will be able to sit, consider, and think about those choices. But at the end of the day, it's your choice. So trust it. Thank you for joining me this morning. I'm going to do the roll call and pray. Yeah, early day. I gotta get to work. Since we're building planes and stuff like that, I gotta work on that stuff, get that stuff prepared for those kids. All right. So we'll start with Clubs Ministry Facebook page. Sister Gibson, good to see you. Sister Guy, good to see you. Mother Marisol, thank you so much for the well wishes and the congratulatory. I appreciate it. We appreciate it. Over here, and my Facebook group, my man Matt, good to see you, bro. Adolph, my brother, good to see you. My sister Tiffany, good to see you. My cousin Lonzo, good to see you, man. Over here, and live me. May 10, good to see you. Sherry, good to see you, Sherry. Always good to see you. Alicia's with the S. See you. Empress Chris, good to see you this morning. Mini Ski, there's no sleep, good to see you. RR White Girl, good to see you. Jack from the UK, blessings, bro, good to see you. SLG, SLG Queen B, good to see you this morning. King Marvin, man, my brother, always good to see you, bro. Always good to see you, man. I didn't get a chance to really ask you how you was doing, how's life going, how's the wife, how's the kids, but I pray that everything is going well for you, man. Kirby me, good to see you this morning. Mo, good to see you this morning. Japanese symbol, I don't know your name, I'm so sorry. Japanese symbol, Starbucks, or Haagen-Dazs this time, the Haagen-Dazs location. So I'm gonna just assume your name is Haagen-Dazs. Let's go with that. Your name is Haagen-Dazs. Mini Mind, good to see you. Queen G, good to see you. Happy, good to see you this morning. Spin the bottle, good to see you this morning. Let's see. What else we got here? Cupcake Rock, thanks for the congratulations. You're a robot. I think that's it. Kamal, good to see you this morning. It was crazy. I don't know. Anyway, thanks for joining us this morning. Thanks for joining me this morning. I pray that you guys have a great rest of the day. Keep in mind that we do have a Facebook group, we do have an Instagram page, we do have a YouTube channel, all under the name Clubs Ministry, CULBZ Ministry. Hopefully within the next few weeks, I'm looking to kick it up a notch as far as the ministry is concerned. I'm looking to expand it a little bit more. expanded to other networks, expanded to a fitness forum. So I'll be doing some fitness stuff for you guys, showing you guys some routines you can do in your home, how you can work out, how you can gain muscles. At the end of the day, it's all about your muscles and stuff like that. All about your health, your fitness. Getting good, getting better, getting stronger. And maybe you might not have um, the funds or the means to go to a fancy gym to get your workout on. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that right here at home. Um, we're going to do some chest workouts. We're going to do some back, shoulders and back workouts, some arm workouts. I'm going to show you my tricks. My tricks as far as this is a sneak peek for some of y'all. It's called the M it's called the M routine. That's what I call it, the M routine. It starts from the chest, it works its way to the shoulders and back, and then it goes down to your bicep, triceps, forearms, and then you're out. So it looks like an M. But I'll teach you guys more about that in the coming weeks. But once again, thank you guys for joining this morning. Let's pray so we can close out. Father God, we just want to thank you, Lord, for giving us this time, this moment to spend with you. We thank you for this opportunity, dear Lord. We ask you, Lord, that you will continue to watch over us and guide us and bless us. Thank you for helping us to make the right choices in life, helping us to make the right decisions in life. We ask you, Lord, that you will continue to keep us, to bless us, dear Lord. Help us, Lord God, that the decisions that we make will be decisions that will not only elevate us, dear Lord, but it will lead us to a better outcome in life. Lord, we love you and we thank you. Help us to build that trust in you, and that trust that we have in you will continue to lead us and lift us up there, Lord. Lord, we ask you for all that you've done, and we thank you for all that you've done. You are wonderful in your mercies and your grace. Bless us and keep us, Lord. God, I pray in Christ's name. Amen. Ryu kicked. Oh, snap. Oh, okay. Well, good to see you. Art, drawing, paper. Art, drawing, painting. Oh, nice. That was beautiful. I can always appreciate good art. Always appreciate good art. I'm an artist, so of course I can appreciate good art. Anyway, once again, you guys have a great day. Have a blessed day. Have a strong day. Today's a good day for me. I love this day. 7/12. It's a beautiful day. So you guys have a great day and enjoy. I shall see you guys on the next broadcast. Take care, y'all. Peace. Beauty with a booty. Good to see you this morning. Too bad you missed our devotion this morning. Came and went, but you know, I know that's good to see you. All right, y'all. Take care.